Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Me channel. The situation involving Monkey D. Garp on Hachinosu, the pirate island ruled by Blackbeard, marks a critical point in the current geopolitical state of the One Piece world. Garp, one of the Navy's greatest heroes, was captured after infiltrating Hachinosu to rescue Kobe. His sacrifice, facing off directly against members of the Blackbeard pirates and his former protege Aokiji, now an ally of the enemy, has called into question the world government, the Navy, and even Garp's own ideals. In this context, a theory gaining traction among fans is the possibility that Sakazuki Akainu, the current fleet admiral, might decide to take personal action to rescue Garp, even if it goes against his past convictions. Many believe Akainu and Garp are complete opposites ideologically, and that's true to an extent. While Garp stands for personal and moral justice, doing what is right over what is simply legal, Akainu embodies absolute justice, where any act can be justified in the name of the greater good and order. However, there's an undeniable mutual respect between them, even if unspoken. Garp is a living legend in the Navy, and even someone as strict as Akainu understands that Garp's symbol goes far beyond the rank he holds. He represents the golden age of Navy heroes, alongside figures like Sengoku and Tsuru. His death at the hands of pirates, especially involving a former admiral, Aokiji, and a Yonku, Blackbeard, would be seen worldwide as the symbolic defeat of justice, potentially undermining the Navy's authority itself. After the events of the Leveille and the war in Wano, combined with the rise of Luffy and his grand fleet, the world government is already being challenged like never before. If the public finds out that the hero Garp was captured and the Navy did nothing, it could spark widespread disobedience and chaos, particularly in already unstable regions. For that reason, even from a practical and strategic standpoint, Akainu has reasons to consider rescuing Garp, even if he disagrees with him personally. Saving Garp isn't just about saving one man, it's about protecting the Navy's morale, credibility, and its symbolic image of justice. Ignoring this could cost the world government dearly, especially now as they struggle to control the narrative during a time of radical change. There's also the unspoken emotional element. Akainu and Aokiji fought a 10-day battle over ideological differences. Although Sakazuki emerged victorious, he likely carries some guilt, even if he doesn't admit it, for pushing Kuzan to the other side. The fact that Kuzan is now allied with Marshal D. Teach, one of the most dangerous and ambitious pirates in the world, shows how that decision had tragic consequences. And now, Kuzan has directly attacked Garp. This adds another layer to the situation. Akainu may feel a moral responsibility to correct the mistake that his fight with Kuzan created, and that may be the trigger that pushes him to act. Attacking Pirate Island isn't a simple decision. Hachinosu is Blackbeard's base of operations. He is the most cunning and strategic of all the current Yonku. Not only does he have a solidified territory, but he also commands an army of extremely dangerous pirates, many of them former Impel Down prisoners or original members of his crew. He now has the support of Aokiji, and according to recent spoilers, may be involved in even larger plans related to the ancient weapons and the continent of Elbaf. A direct attack would essentially be a declaration of war. However, Akainu might view it as a necessary and perhaps unavoidable move. With the recent actions of the Gorosi and Imu, the Navy is going through internal turmoil, and many within are asking, who do we really serve? This inner chaos could pressure Akainu to make more personal, symbolic decisions, attempting to restore the Navy's image through concrete actions. Garp was captured while protecting Kobe, the young Marine who represents the future of the Navy. Kobe is a symbol of hope for those who believe in a more compassionate form of justice. By sacrificing himself, Garp sends a clear message. Real Marines don't abandon their comrades. That message strongly resonates with lower-ranking Marines who may start questioning whether today's Navy still follows the ideals of its greatest heroes. If Akainu ignores this, he could lose internal support. But if he acts, even against the advice of the world government's leaders, he could reignite the spirit of the Marines, boost morale, and prove that strong principles still exist among Navy leadership. If Sakazuki truly decides to rescue Garp, it would mark a major turning point in the story. First, it would show his willingness to distance himself from the Celestial Dragons and the world government, proving that the Navy can, in fact, act independently. Second, it would put him on a direct collision course with Blackbeard, something Blackbeard himself might want to avoid at this moment, as he's still consolidating his position as a global power. Moreover, this would set up a powerful clash of ideologies, Akainu's absolute justice versus Blackbeard's calculated chaos. It would symbolically echo the battle between Akainu and Kuzan, but now with even higher stakes. Finally, Akainu's decision could open the door to unexpected alliances. Characters like Fujitora or even Smoker might side with him if he shows that he's acting in the name of true justice. This could cause a split within the Navy, something fans have theorized for years about. The possibility of a revolutionary Navy, or at least a new generation of Marines who refuse to be lapdogs of the world government. Another factor supporting this possibility is the political and moral vacuum the Navy is currently facing. After the Leveille, the fall of the Shichibukai, and the rise of the Cross Guild, the Navy is dealing with multiple threats at once. The Navy's reputation, and especially Akainu's as its leader, is on the line. If Garp is killed by pirates while on an unofficial mission to rescue Kobe, the Navy will suffer an unprecedented blow. That may force Akainu to act, not just out of personal loyalty or ideology, but to protect the prestige of the institution he leads. Showing strength, recovering Garp, and punishing those involved would be a strategic move to restore the Navy's image. Additionally, the situation on Hachinosu, Pirate Island, could become the perfect trigger for a direct conflict between Akainu and Blackbeard. Teach has been steadily gaining power and influence, and there are signs he's collecting valuable knowledge and items, such as poneglyphs, strategic prisoners like Law, and now Garp. For Akainu, this growing threat may represent a breaking point. A preemptive strike, even a risky one, might be more justifiable than waiting for Blackbeard to make the first move at full strength. This theory is also supported by the internal deterioration within the Navy, where figures like Fujitora and Ryokugyu are beginning to show ideological conflicts with the concept of absolute justice. Akainu, pressured from all sides, may be increasingly isolated, and rescuing Garp could serve as a unifying act for the Marines, reigniting the spirit of justice within the ranks. Garp is a living legend, and his capture or death would symbolically weaken the morale of the soldiers. Saving him, on the other hand, would represent a rebirth of the Navy in the face of the world's growing chaos. From a tactical standpoint, a strike against Hachinosu, while risky, could be a strategic opportunity. The pirate island, although heavily fortified, is filled with conflicting egos and pirates with their own agendas. Blackbeard holds his crew together more through fear than genuine loyalty. A swift, devastating assault led by Akainu could destabilize Teach's fragile alliance, creating the chaos needed to rescue Garp and possibly free other valuable prisoners as well. In that context, the use of Akainu's absolute magma power could be the key to quickly collapsing the island's defenses. We also can't ignore the symbolic factor. A confrontation between Akainu and Blackbeard would be a clash of two opposing worldviews: the extreme order of absolute justice versus the complete chaos of pirate ambition. And in this battlefield, Garp's role as the pivot is essential. His salvation is not merely a military or moral objective, it's the catalytic event that could ignite this ideological collision between two great powers. The theory also gains strength when we consider Kobe's role. He is the link between Garp's ideals and the new generation of Marines. If Garp dies, the trauma could shatter Kobe's conviction and sever the cycle of justice he's always strived to uphold. By saving Garp, Akainu would also be protecting this ideological investment in the future of the Navy. In conclusion, the theory that Akainu will decide to attack Hachinosu to save Garp isn't based on sentimentality, but on strategic calculation. The preservation of the Navy's image, the unavoidable confrontation with Teach, internal morale, and even the ideological future of the next generation of Marines. If this happens, it will become one of the most defining moments of One Piece's final saga, not just determining Garp's fate, but the future of justice itself in the world. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.